Hi DIYers, Joe here from AlarmGrid, and today we're going to talk about how to add a user code to a VISTA security system. Today we're going to be speaking about the VISTA 10, the 15P, the 10P, the 15P, the 20P, and the 21IP. Now the 10P can support up to 17 user codes, the 15P can support up to 33 user codes, the 20 and the 21IP can support up to 49 user codes, including the installer code on the system. Now, if your system is monitored, you can actually use Total Connect 2.0 to add and edit user codes and then download them right to the system after clicking Sync Users. Also, if your security company has remote access to your system, they can also update and add user codes and push them down to your panel for you. But if you do only have a keypad, or if you want to enter them through the keypad itself, you can certainly do that, and that's what we're going to show you how to do today. So, right here we have a 21IP system, and we also have a 6160 RF keypad. Everything on the system is defaulted, which means the master code is 1234 and the installer code is 4112. Let's start with the installer code. The only thing you can do with that code as far as user code programming goes is edit the master code on the system. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to enter the installer code, so 4112. We're going to click 8, and you'll see 8 has code written on it, which is a great way to remember that 8 is the button that's used for editing user codes. And then we're going to select the master code slot, which is 02. In system programming, the installer code sits in code slot number 1, the master code sits in code slot number 2, and then regular users are in code slot number 3 and up. So we're going to change the master code to 7896. Let's see how to do that. Installer code 802. That ding lets us know that it was successfully changed. A convenient way that you can check to see if a user code edit went through into the system is to enter the user code and then hit 1, which is disarm or off. That's going to make the keypad ding to let you know that the command was successful, which means that the user code is in the panel. So let's try it out. So we know that the master code has been changed successfully and it's working just fine. Let's change it back to the default though for the rest of the vid. So now we're back to 1234. Now to change the master code on the system, you have to enter the master code itself, 802, and then you enter the new master code 2 times in a row if you want to use the master code to edit the master code. So let's change it back to 7896 using the master code. So now to confirm that that went in, let's do 7896 and then 1. And we know that we've edited the master code using the master code. Again, I'm going to change it back to the default. Oops. And then to confirm. Perfect. So now, to add a regular user code, you have to use the master code. The master code is the only code that's going to let you edit user codes when doing hand programming through the keypad. So to add a new user code, we're going to enter the master code, 8, and then we're going to select the first user code slot, which is 3. So after 8, we have to hit 03, and then we're going to enter the user code for that user. So let's try it out. Master, 8, 03, 7896. We got a ding to let us know that it went in successfully. Let's see if it disarms the system. Great. So we know that it's in programming now and it's working just fine. After this, there's settings in the user codes that you can edit. There's 2 different menus. One is the attributes themselves, and then you can go into the attributes and edit them. On the bottom of this video, you'll see that there's a link to the FAQ that explains all the different attribute fields. It's a convenient thing to load up just for a quick glance as a reminder to know what they are. For the user codes themselves, the attribute fields, attribute number 1 has to do with the authority level. Attribute number 2 has to do with the access group, which you likely won't have to edit. Attribute number 3 has to do with which partition the code resides on. Attribute number 4 has to do with assigning the code to an RF key fob zone. And attribute number 5 has to do with setting the code to be a pager or not pager, which you likely won't have to deal with also. Most commonly, you'll have to deal with attribute number 1, which is the authority level for the user code. after going into that particular attribute, the different authority levels you have for the user code are 0, which means it's a standard user, which means it can arm and disarm the system and it can't edit any user codes. 1, which means it's an ARM only, which means the user code can only be used to arm the system. 2, which means it's a guest user, which means that it can only disarm the system if it was used to arm the system. 3, which means that it's a duress user, which means that the code will disarm the system, but it's also going to send a panic to central station. And 4, you can set it to be a partition master, which means that it can add and edit user codes on the particular partition it resides on, but it cannot do on the other partition on the system or other partitions on the system. The 21 IP has 2 partitions. The 20P also has 2 partitions. So now let's change our user code that we added in slot number 3 so that it's an ARM-only user. What we're going to have to do is go into the attribute setting and change it from 0 to 1. So to do that, we're going to enter the master code 8, then select the user slot 03, then hit pound to select the attribute. We're going to select 1 to do the authority level attribute, and then we're going to select 1 again to change it from 0 to 1. So and now the user code that we added can only ARM the system. That's how to add and edit user codes on a VISTA system. Thanks for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, feel free to subscribe. And if you want to be notified about future videos when we do post them, hit the notification button. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to head on over to our website, give us a call, send us an email. Thanks for watching and have a great day.